Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius
and Aušra Pinkevičienė.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Thank you so much, Wolfram, for joining this conversation with me. I'm so excited to be able to talk with you because just 1 day ago I backed your project Paper Organ, right? I saw this video last week, I think, on Facebook. It was shared on Facebook, and I could not stop but watch and click through and even share later on. And I couldn't really do anything with the backing right then because it was still pre-launch, but I subscribed to your list and I got notified, right? And at that moment also my friend James Flores, organist from Australia, also got notified because we connect together very often every day, and he wrote me a message right away. Did you see, do you have FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. And I said, yes, I do. And I remember that, a week ago I saw your video and project. So I really do hope this project will succeed. And paper organ is amazing concept. We all know about, of course, orgel kids, right? Or organ kids. This project, but it's heavy, relatively heavy, and relatively expensive, right? So what you came up with paper instrument or model of the instrument, let's say, it's, I think, ingenious. So thank you so much, Wolfram, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. In fact, you are the backer number 2. So you were one of the earliest
yes.
to back this project.
Yeah, I saw before me was one person who donated or backed $1 for you, right?
Yes, you are the first true backer, I think.
Yes, I actually backed with $97 level because I want to receive I think module 3 version, right, with a complete balloon and glues, everything together, so that I am not really a technical person, can put everything together and show everything during my organ demonstrations that I do with kids and adults.
Oh, I can't wait to hear your organ playing. So what you will get is the organ just you saw in the video, including the big white air balloon and a paintbrush to paste the glue, and of course a bottle of glue.
Excellent. So Wolfram, let's start from the beginning. How did you first came up with this idea? I know you were involved with paper, doing many things with paper. You're master with all things paper, and but building organs from paper is not really a very popular thing. I only saw one pipe made by Gene Bediant earlier when I was a student at University of Nebraska-Lincoln. He basically he had this organ building class, and he had design and drawings for us to put everything together, and we made entire organ pipe, just one pipe. But it was a full length, I think, pipe, and it worked. We could blow it. But I could not imagine it is possible to do the mechanics of the organ with paper. So how did you came up with this idea?
Okay, well, a few years ago, I saw a YouTube video of some crazy Russian who built a paper organ model. It was not modular. It was I think a bit more than an octave of pipes. And he usually makes other things from paper, like a working motor, like a 6-cylinder motor, and you blow in and the cylinders are working, and maybe this size, so very small detailed models. And he also made this paper organ, and he usually publishes some reports how he made it. And some people ask in the comments, could you make instructions to do it? And he said, because it's nearly impossible to replicate this, I just can't give you instructions. And I thought, challenge accepted. And because I'm doing paper sculptures, like at the moment I'm doing a wolf. So this is the paper wolf. I thought, okay, I play the piano since more than 30 years, and I love all key instruments. I have an old harmonium, and I've built a harpsichord when I was in school. And I wanted to make a paper organ, just like this Alexei Zollner. But I wanted to have it modular, and I wanted to have it optimized so everybody can replicate it. So I can offer it just as a kit, as an organ kit, like my other paper sculptures. And this was just a side project. So 2 years ago, I started with trying first learn how to make a pipe, because I know how to carve a pipe out of a wood. So I found this very old book. I think it's from the 1800s, organ making for amateurs. So I found it on Google Books. So it was published for everybody. And I skipped through the pages and made many prototypes. Just it took months. So I had really a working pipe. And once this problem was solved, I just learned how to make the mechanics and to make it the keys and the how's called the thing where the air comes through, and it must be airtight and opens the lids for the pipes. Mm-hmm. And so I invented it. I reinvented the whole organ, just module by module, piece by piece. And for example, the pipe first was made out of 6 pieces. So one pipe, 6 pieces, which you have to glue very precisely together. And I thought this is too complicated, and I thought and I tested and I thought again, and now I have a pipe which is only made of 2 pieces. So actually it's 1 piece, and then you have the tuning, just a little piece of paper we glue on top of the tape, and you shift it back and forth and you blow the pipe until the tone is clear, and then you remember the place, and then you go to place. So I succeeded in making it as simple as possible. And also for the mechanics, I had lots of prototypes which didn't work very well or were too big, and I tried to make it smaller. So it took me 2 years, and in the beginning of this year, I didn't have so many jobs. So actually, I'm a computer animator, and of course, I'm the paper wolf who sells the paper animals worldwide. And all the time in between my jobs, when I have a few weeks with no job, I continued to improve the organ. And finally, I think it was in July or June, I thought, okay, now I'm ready. I built a second working prototype of the organ, just the way you will receive it later. And then I thought, okay, now I'm ready to try the Kickstarter campaign. Mm-hmm. And then I started making the website and trying to get newsletter subscribers. And then when I felt ready, I started the Kickstarter campaign.
All right, so let's stop here, Wolfram, and I think I'd better turn off the camera, because every 15 seconds you you are interrupted somehow,
Okay.
either on your part or on my part. I'm not sure. Let's try without video. Okay.
All right.
All right. So for testing, let's talk a little bit. Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay, I can hear you, but I'm not sure if the interrupting is continuous. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you. What did you have for breakfast today, Wolfram?
For breakfast, I
Yes.
always start with muesli. Is this an English word, muesli?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
cereals and milk and some fruits.
Very good. Continue talking.
So I think since more than 35 years, I start my day with muesli. So yogurt and milk and cereals, very healthy, and some fruits. Yeah, that's I can't start with work without having food. So I'm not the guy who can work until noon and then get the first meal. I have the first thing in the morning is to fill my belly.
Very good. Do you think now I will be talking a little bit, and I think I heard you just fine, except just one second interrupted, just one during that episode without video. Now I will be talking a little bit what I had for breakfast. Today I had for breakfast eggs, scrambled eggs, and it was with a little bit with bacon. Usually I eat either with bacon or without bacon, and it tastes really delicious, especially if you have good coffee. I usually drink decaf coffee in the morning with milk, so it tastes the same but without the buzz in the head.
Okay, so there were, I think, 1 or 2 interruptions, so I think that's okay.
Okay. So okay, maybe we could start. We could talk like that for a while. See what happens. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I will edit this part, of course, and put everything together without interrupted area.
All right.
So Wolfram, it's really fascinating for me to find out that you worked on this project for 2 years, right? Even though you were good with making paper animals, it's really fascinating how you, came into basically organ building area. It's not very usual for non-organists to build organs, right? For people outside organ profession to start being interested in organ. So did you find any challenges that you had to overcome in this project?
Yeah, quite a few, I think. So first of all, I have to say I'm not an organist. So I play piano since 30 years, but I never got the chance to play on an organ, although I'm very fascinated from those really big instruments and the big sound you can make. I have an harmonium, which is not quite an organ, but I don't, because I'm not from the music instrument building, and I'm not an organ builder really. I just don't know the terms, and I invented my own terms for when I have the modules and the elements. I just invented terms I use all the time, and I'm quite sure a real organ builder will use different terms. And the one problem was when something didn't work out, and I tried to find out how real organs do this. I had difficulties finding the right space or the right instructions, because I didn't know how to call this specific element. So it was just learning by doing, and I think the most difficult thing, and I'm not quite finished with for example, if I build a small pipe and a big pipe, the gaps where the tone is being made must be different. I think it's a little bigger for bigger pipes and a little smaller for smaller pipes, but I'm not finished with the testing. So if I want to make even deeper pipes, I need to do some testing, because I don't know the system behind it, and I just tested 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter gap, and then I built a prototype and I blew it, and if I could make it 3 times, I knew this will be stable and can be replicated. So actually, I wrote some emails to some German organ builders and asked if they could help me, but they were so busy, and I said, no, sorry, no time for this. So I had to find it out myself. And actually, I pretty much liked this process because it's this engineering and this inventor feeling, and I just had to find out myself. And once I made it, I was very proud about this. And this happens quite a few times during making the whole organ, because also the mechanics and how you can open and close the lids of the levers so the air can flow through, and to make this airtight was a challenge too. And now I solved all those problems, and I'm very proud because this is 100% my thinking and my engineering, and just with the help of this old book, Organ Makers for Amateurs, I really managed to make a working instrument.
Yes, Wolfram, I know that traditionally organ pipes have been made from all kinds of materials, from of course metal and wood. This is very common and nowadays common knowledge. But we had pipes made out of glass in the past, right? Out of plastic also as an experiment. Out of paper too, right? And then out of stone, yeah, even, right? So how did you focus on building pipes which are not based on metal pipe shapes, right? Not round, but more like wooden pipes, sort of angular, right? Why did you choose this way?
Yes, this is because well, because I wanted to make everything from paper,
yes,
and it's not very easy to make a round paper pipe because the interior, is it called tongue? Where the thing which is inside the pipe and creates the tone, it would be very difficult to make it from paper. So actually, it was much easier to have it angled like a wooden pipe. So I never tried a round design because I'm used to this angled design for my paper animals, and because it's not easy to bend paper in a round way and have an exact shape.
Yes, I think I remember organ builder Gene Bidient making a round paper for us, but those were much larger pipes. You know, it's much easier probably to work with round paper if the measurements are larger than small, right?
Yeah, probably yes. But I wanted to have my organ must be very small, so it's you don't have need to have an extra room for this. And I designed the keys just like piano keys from the measurements.
Yes.
And that also limited my the pipes, the diameter of the pipes, because I couldn't make the diameter of one pipe larger than the width of a key, of the white key of the keyboard.
Yes, of course. Playing those small instruments is really fun. I've seen your video when you played one melody with your one hand, right? And this air supply was supplied with balloon, right? And
yes.
What are the measurements of your instrument, of the pipes and total shapes and basically mechanics? How big is this?
Okay, just give me a second. I will just measure it for you.
Good. While Wolfram is measuring, I will just say one thing, that I really was surprised that balloon instead of bellows can produce enough air pressure, right, for paper pipes to speak. So it's really amazing.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes.
So the width of the organ is around 25 centimeters, and the depth is 30, and the height is also 30, around 30 centimeters.
Wow.
So, and yes, what you said with the balloon, I also I'm still working for my prototype and also for the videos. I worked with the first balloon I bought, I think, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And someday the deepest pipes didn't work so good anymore. And I thought, oh no, I have to replace it, which would not be a problem because you just can cut it away and replace it with a new pipe. But then I bought a new balloon because in a few weeks I will be on a paper festival from the paper mill where I get my paper from, and I will present my paper organ there. And I thought, okay, I will present it with a fresh balloon. And when I tested it a few days ago, all the pipes worked wonderfully again. And it's just because the old balloon, which is 2 years old, just lost pressure, didn't have the pressure anymore. So the high pipes, the high tones worked fine, but the very low, which need more air and more pressure, didn't work so good anymore. So this you can solve it by just using a new balloon, and I am always using the balloons which are 80 centimeters diameter or even 1 meter. And of course, I don't put air with my lungs, but I have a balloon pump which is electric. So it just takes a few seconds to fill the balloon, and then I can play around 45 seconds with one filling. And of course, you saw in the video I'm playing with one hand because my other hand needs to hold the balloon so it won't lift the organ a bit. But you can play with 2 hands, of course, and you can play as many keys as you want at one time. So this is you can play chords on the organ just like on a normal organ.
It's fascinating when you mentioned that you have to play with one hand and the other has to hold the balloon so that it wouldn't lift up the entire instrument into the air. I was reminded of my recent trip on the recent flight on the hot air balloon, which was exactly the same thing. Hot air and the gas also is really powerful enough that it can lift up 6 people or more.
Oh, sorry, no. My air balloon won't lift up the organ into the air, but because it's a round balloon and it's round into all sides,
yes,
and the nozzle is on the floor on the table, the balloon wants to get its round shape so that it would just lift an edge of the organ maybe, or the balloon can roll away a bit. So if somebody else, probably it would work by just letting it go and play. But I want to make sure I can play the piece for the video. So I just hold it a bit to stay in place. But it's not like a hot air balloon that will lift onto the ceiling. It's just I wanted to have the organ to stay in place and don't move for the video.
I can imagine kids being really excited by seeing, this familiar shape of the balloon. They all know the balloon, right? What balloon can do, they don't know. So you put
Yes.
one end of the balloon to the organ mechanism, and it starts to sound, right? It's amazing.
Yes. So what I find the most fascinating thing is how to create a tone, how to make a musical tone. And you start folding this pipe set.
Yes.
And then you glue it, and then you put this last piece in place, and then you blow it, and then this clear tone comes out. And so just you fold paper, and it's a musical instrument, and you can tune it. So if you cut away some pieces of the pipe, the tone gets higher, and if you if you close it on top a bit, so in German is man deckelt eine Pfeife. So you just close half of the pipe, and then the tone gets lower. You also do it on metal pipes. And this is so fascinating. You can really fine-tune the paper organ. And of course, you just need a balloon. You could even use a small balloon, but then you maybe can play 10 seconds or maybe 15 seconds. And with the big balloon, you can play half a minute or 45 seconds. I have a daughter. She's 6 years old, and she loves to play on the organ as well. I'm a bit careful because I need this prototype for presenting it to the newspaper or to when I'm on the paper festival. So she can't play very often, but the times she played on it, she just explored which keys produce which sound. And so I think it's for children, especially the older children, it's very amazing to learn how to make a musical instrument just from paper.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Everybody can see the design of the organ. You know, when they go into the church, organ listeners, or just simply an audience sitting at the recital, let's say, or even during church service, like a mass or any other service, they hear the organ sometimes in the back, sometimes in the front, sometimes they cannot even see the instrument because they're facing into the altar, right? And the instrument is in the back. And the ocean of the sound basically is such a magnificent sound traveling across the space. It's like a mysterious sound, but you don't see anything and you don't know how
Yes.
it is produced. So I imagine this type of project like paper organ would be really, really helpful for educating people about the mechanics of the real organ, and doing maybe demonstrations of the real instrument in cooperation with the paper instrument. So whatever you produce on a real big organ, you could basically show the kids or even adults from up close on the paper organ.
Exactly, and this is exactly one thing I want to share, because probably nobody ever, no normal person ever seen how a big church organ is really working. I mean, there are documentations on the internet, so you can find some YouTube videos which explain how the organ is working under the hood, but you can't see it hands-on. And of course, you cannot compare my paper organ with a really big church organ, but the way the air flows through the instrument, through the back part of the instrument, and the way the lids open, I don't know how to call it in English, so the air can flow through the pipe, and the mechanics which goes from the key to the back part of the organ and then opens the lids. This is something which is really fascinating to see. And during you are building the organ, you will see all the mechanics. And of course, after you glue the pipes in place, you don't see the back part anymore. But you can see how the springs, even the springs which push back the keys, are made from paper, from just zigzag folded paper. And all the stuff you can really still see from the finished instrument. And I think even for students which are studying organ music, it would be very fascinating to build 1 or 2 modules themselves. Even as group project, I think it's perfect. So if you have 10 students, all 10 can build one of the paper organs together. And one is concentrating on the pipes, the other one on the white and black keys, and so on the mechanics. And after they are finished, they have created a musical instrument themselves. And I think there's no better way to get a feeling for the organ and how to play this kind of music instrument if you build one yourself.
Yes, and you have to be really careful and delicate with the paper, right? So after people build and assemble this modular paper organ, they will be really careful with real wooden organ as well.
Yes. Um, um, could you explain? Of course, you have to be careful. You can't sit on this paper organ, but I wouldn't do this with a real organ too. So, of course, paper is a bit more fragile than a wooden organ or a metal pipes. But I'm pretty sure you shouldn't touch the metal pipes of a church organ as well, or remove the pipe and play with it and bang it to the wall. So I'm sure you could destroy a big church organ as well if you are not very careful. But
Exactly.
actually,
Yes, Wolfram, I just wanted to
you
interrupt you
could
a little bit
yeah.
and say that I can imagine being not careful with the balloon a little bit might be a problem, right? Can it explode?
Okay, whenever I made a video or tried my paper organ, I made sure that no pointy things or tools, so no knives or no scissors, were close to the balloon, of course, because I was always afraid that it could just explode. And with a big air balloon, like a 1 meter air balloon, I think it's pretty loud if it's just explodes. Um,
Yes.
so you have to be careful with this, of course, but just the same way with any other balloon you blow and you play with your kids. So far, no single of my balloons bursted, so they are always still here. But I always have 4 or 5 balloons with me, so just in case one will burst, I still have some replacements to show my organ.
Very nice. What if,
Um,
let's say, um, I assemble your kit, right? Paper organ kit, and then later want to, let's say, show and demonstrate how it works for a group of kids or adults in a demonstration. Do I have to have a replacement for the balloon beside me as well?
well, in the kit you will get there's 1 balloon, and you can get big balloons in the internet with no problems for just a few euros. So if you want to make sure you can show it, even you maybe have to have one replacement balloon with you. But as I told you before, I still have the first balloons I bought 2 years ago, and they made from quite thick gum, so they are not as thin as a usual party balloon. But of course, if you have a knife or a pointy scissors or something, or a shattered glass, then it will burst for sure. So once you're finished with your organ and you played a bit, you might want to buy another balloon for you just for replacement. But as I said, you can play 2 years with 1 balloon and it will still work.
Nice. You know, balloon reminds me of bellows, right? And I had this experience with the bellows in my church here in Vilnius, Vilnius University St. John's Church, back in 2009, I think. The legendary Swiss organist Guy Beauvais came and played a recital here in that year.
Okay.
And it was a fully packed church and everything, very successful recital. But before he came, 2 days before, we had university graduation ceremony. It was during summer, and and I noticed that the bellows make a very strange loud sound, you know, like hissing sound. And
Oh.
suddenly I looked inside and saw a big gaping hole on one corner of the bellows. And 2 days before this legendary recital, you know, deadline is soon. I don't know what to do. I called the organ builder, and we had to reassemble dismantle the bellows and check
Okay.
what happened, you know. And apparently he had a replacement of the leather material for bellows, which was okay. So we had to we have to prepare the special kind of hot glue, which really smells bad, like it's made from bones, you know. And
Yeah.
we spent, I think, entire afternoon there in the church, and even more, maybe 2 days, until it was ready. And it took time for the glue to get dry, and but finally the recital went okay, and the bellows were working, you know. But the problem was that back when this instrument was being built, organ builder bought leather from a manufacturer in Germany, a very reputable company, very high quality leather, but somehow this material, a little bit of material got mixed up, and some parts were like rotten or appeared like paper, you know, and therefore it bursted and no longer was working. It was really unfortunate. So when I see this balloon and start to think about bursting, I thought about my bellows as well.
Okay, in this case, I would recommend you having a replacement balloon with you.
Good idea. Good idea, Wolfram. Another thing I wanted to ask you is how difficult it is to assemble the kit. Do you have to be an engineer, or is it possible for a non-technical person to assemble it?
Okay, so far I didn't. Yes, I did. Okay, so far I didn't have really a beta tester. So, but 2 weeks ago there was a journalist from a local newspaper, and before she started asking me something, I said, "Stop! First thing we will do is building a pipe." And she said, "Oh no, I'm not very good in crafting, and I never did this before." And it's like, okay, no problem. That's exactly why I made this paper organ kit, because I want to be everybody able to make one. And so I put, from my box, I put 2 pipe sets, and I folded and she folded one, and I told her where to paste glue, and later you will get assembly instructions. So you don't have to have myself beside you to make one. But I told her and showed her some tricks, and I think she never thought that her pipe would be working in the end. And then the moment comes where you put the last piece in place, and she blew it, and there was a clear tone coming out, and she was so excited. She said, "Oh, finally I'm a kid again, and my colleagues will be envious if they see that I could do crafting, a handicraft." And she put the pipe into her handbag, and then we did this interview, and then she left. And I was so proud because and so happy because I have proven that it's really everybody is able to make it. Of course, you should have some patience because it will take some hours to make an organ. The whole organ, which you see on the video, the 3 modules organ, is made from around 190 pieces, simply because you have 17 keys, and each key is made from 3 pieces, and the lever which opens the latch for the pipe is made out of 5 little pieces, plus a paper spring, and each pipe is made of 2 pieces, and then you have the mechanics housing. So in total, I counted around 190 pieces. So there's a lot of repetitive work because each key and each pipe you have to build. But if you are patient, or I mean, you can build 2 pipes a day and then 2 mechanics, and then on the next day continue. But probably you will be so excited to just finish 1 module a day. So I don't think you have to be an expert to make an organ, and because I optimized each element many times until I was sure it's it's doable for everyone, and it's made from as little pieces as possible, and it must be reliable, so and working, of course. So what I don't want is somebody to make a mistake and the whole organ is not working and he has to throw away everything. But I want, that's also a reason why I made this modular, because even if you screw up one module, you can just replace it and make a new one. But that would be the worst case, and I don't think that anybody will screw up it, because it's just folding a few pieces and then repeat and repeat and repeat. So yes, I'm confident that everybody can make it if he is a bit patient.
So do you think that a person can do this in 1 week?
I think you can do it in 1 day.
Oh, in 1 day.
So if you have a weekend, so it's I have difficulties saying exactly how long it will take, because I never built my organ in one go. I have two prototypes, so two finished organs. The first one, the pipe design was a little different, so it's the same system, but it looks a bit different. And the second one, I built the design I like best, and which worked best. But I constantly improved things, and then I thought, okay, I could improve here a little and there a little. So I went on designing, and then I added this and I replaced pipes. So I never built the set in one go, which you will receive. You will receive the set where all pieces are optimized. And so I can't say how long it took me in total, but because making a pipe takes maybe one minute or so, and making a black or a white key takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then the lever which opens the air ventile
yes.
maybe takes 2 minutes a lever. So the single steps won't take very long, but because you have 8 or 7 or 17 keys, or even 2 octaves, this repetitive work will just add, and so it takes a few hours to make. Maybe it takes 8 hours or 6 hours. I'm not very sure, but not a week.
Wonderful. I thought about setting aside 1 week, but if I can do this in a weekend, that would be great. Obviously, I'm a slow builder. You are an expert, and you will do things much faster than me, right? But for
I'm not so sure about this. I can tell you a story. A few years ago, when I was pretty new with my paper sculptures, I had a customer from Latvia. She was just an 18-year-old girl, and she sent me a picture, because I always ask my customers to send pictures of their finished sculptures. And she sent me a picture of the lion she bought, and it looked wonderful. And I just asked, how long did it take you? And she said, oh, maybe 5 hours or so. And I thought, what? It takes me 7 hours to do. And she was 2 hours faster. And she never did papercraft before. So this proves I'm not the fastest. And people who never did it before can be faster than me. I'm not sure how she did it, but she promised it took her just 5 hours or so. Of course, what can do if you build the organ? I'm pretty sure once you finish the first piece of mechanic, you will just play with it. You will put the pipe in place, and then you open and close it, and you blow it, and you just play with it. And this takes time, of course. You don't have to, but it's so fascinating once your first pipe is working and the first key works together with the lever, and then the pipe and opens, and probably you will try to connect the balloon much too early, just when you finished 2 pipes or so. And this can take time, but I love this process. Just playing with the prototype and playing with the intermediate steps, and showed everybody, and so this can slow down your work, but it's a beautiful work, and I love just the process of building.
Wolfram, you know what I think? I think that not only demonstrating a finished modular organ. If I assemble it at home and then later show the finished product to the public, to the kids and adults, would be really fascinating. But not only this, but also uh, having an opportunity for them to assemble the organ themselves too.
Yes, of course. And I think I'm not sure how old you have to be be able to build a working organ. So you have to your motorics you have to be developed. So I'm not sure if a kindergarten kid could do it, and maybe not the first few grades. But if the kid is 14 or 15-year-old, maybe 13 even, they can help you build the organ for sure. And I'm writing to schools and also to universities, music universities, but also to schools, asking if this project is interesting for them, because I'm pretty sure that if you have a class of maybe 15 or 16-year-old kids, and you say it's a music class, and you say, let's make an organ and let's learn how to make a tone, and everybody, and you can distribute the work of one organ to many people, because everybody can make a pipe, and then some do the mechanics, and after all, of course, you have to bring it together, but there are so many elements you can make separately. It's a perfect project for a group of 5 or maybe even 10 people.
Yes, Wolfram, I could imagine that it's ideal set to do during organ building class for organists, for college level organists, for university level organists. You know, like we did with Gene Bidian back in University of Nebraska Lincoln. He showed us how to make a paper pipe, which was a round shape, but he also had this a little bit, I think, a prototype of the organ with glass doors and glass walls, so that everything could be seen inside. But we didn't actually build this. It was a working prototype, working model, and just for demonstrating purposes, right? But imagine if he
Yes.
had, or anybody, any organ builder or organist professor who teaches this class would have this opportunity to build a paper organ together with students. That would be really hands-on experience, and I think no organist will be the same after this life-changing experience. You know, because
I really can imagine this, because I'm not an organist. I would love to play on a big organ, just to play around with it. But I'm not an organist. I just love doing something with my hands. But I'm sure if you want to study organ or even organ building, then it's just a perfect model to learn and to be able to do it very quickly. Because I think if you want to build a church organ, it takes many years to do so. And that you can make a little model of a working organ in just a weekend. So I think, yes, it's very fascinating, and because I'm so fascinated, I hope that others will be too, because I just love the process so much. I want to share it with the public.
Exactly, Wolfram. And I'm very grateful for Gene Bidiant also, who taught me all things how organ works during that class. He taught me how to tune the organ pipes, reed organ pipes, which are differently tuned than flue organ pipes, metal pipes and wooden pipes, you know, all those mechanical devices he taught us. And I just wish we had this paper model back then, right? It would be really life-changing experience for many organists, because nowadays a lot of organists are not really interested how the organ works. They just want to play the music, right?
Yeah.
But if they had this opportunity to build the organ themselves, paper modular organ, then obviously their eyes would be open, and then they would not look at the instrument with the same eyes again.
Yeah. Do you still have are you still in contact with the Nebraska school you told me about?
uh, organ builder Gene Bidient, he is retired now. For the time being, he lives in I think in Brussels now. And
Okay.
yes, you can find him on Facebook. He's very active, showing his organ-related activities. He's helping many European organists with restorations too. So obviously, we have to connect you with him. And
Yeah, that would be awesome because I have just no connections to the organ building branch, and I'm thankful for any help to so the right people will know about this project.
mm-hmm. And I've actually seen Gene Bidient share your link about your either project, or maybe it was an article in some online article. I've seen his sharing on Facebook about your project too. So he
Oh,
knows about
that's wonderful.
paper organ. Mhm. So I think we will connect you, and you can also talk with him and let me know how it goes, right? Because it's really exciting to be able to witness this opportunity. It's the first time you can really produce something on a massive scale and ship around the globe, not just to one person, but to many people, right, who are interested.
Yes, yes, of course.
Mhm. Mhm. So Wolfram, can you share with us where could people find out more about your project, Paper Organ?
So right now I am running a Kickstarter campaign, which is a crowdfunding platform. So people can back it right now, so they can how to say, they can purchase the product already before it's made. And my goal is to have a fund of 13,000 euros, so I can go into serial production, and then if this goal is reached, the whole project will be made. And if I don't reach this goal, nobody will pay anything. So that's great on Kickstarter. So people can learn about this project, and if they like it, they can already buy it. And there are also many informations on my website, which is www.paper-organ.com, or for the Germans, www.papierorgel.de. And it also it's the same English website, and you can see my organ in action. You can see me playing on it. You can even see how the shipping box will be designed. In the end, I made a cardboard prototype of the box as well, but in the end, I will have it printed in the larger scale, professionally. And yes, all informations are on my website, and of course on the Kickstarter page.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, Wolfram. I think I hope that this project will get funded, right? And how many percent have you been funded so far? We are talking on the second day of the launch, right?
Yes, it's the second day. I also have to say that the first few days are crucial, so I need to get as much funded as possible in the first few days. So that's the experience of Kickstarter. And so far, I have roughly 22% funded already. So a lot more to go, but it's very promising, I think, because each day more people fund it, and but of course, I hope that it will be not only funded, but much more. So many more people would like to have this. And the more people help funding it, the better for me, because I can have companies do the serial production and then ship out a lot more boxes, and yeah.
Yes, so far I see 35 people have backed this project. As far as I know, in this moment, as we speak, this is great start, I think.
Yes, yes, because it's not an everyday product, so I think it's a quite of a niche. But for this, I think that 35 persons in this on the second day is just a good result, I think.
Yeah, because I haven't heard, many organ-related Kickstarter campaigns being done before. So if you are successful with this, you will be also a catalyst for organ world in general to explore Kickstarter more carefully. Maybe people in the future will analyze your Kickstarter campaign, how it worked, how they can replicate it themselves.
That's too kind of you to say this.
Yes, I'm sure
Thank
they
you.
will. Yes, and I hope this project will see successful ending. And if I receive my 3-modular organ, and if I can assemble it, I obviously promise to make a video of my process, at least in parts. Take many pictures, make many posts about it, about the process, because it's really fun to demonstrate not only the finished product but the process as well.
That's a great idea, and I can assure you, for the paper organ, the same service applies as for my paper sculptures. So if you buy something from Paperwolf and you have questions during assembly, which sometimes happens, you just can drop me a mail and I will answer every mail personally. And I did this since 8 years for my paper sculptures. So I don't hope so that you will have questions, because I hope everything is self-explaining, but you can be sure that if you have questions, you will get an answer from me, and I will send you pictures or sketches of the stage, and help you to finish your organ.
This is great, Wolfram. I think people will benefit from your help if they need it, if they get stuck, right? If they cannot find out for themselves from the instructions, but can drop you an email and you're good with responding, right?
Yes, of course. That's very important to me, because as well with my paper sculptures, with my paper animals, I don't want to say thank you for the money and goodbye, because each animal, there's so much heart for me inside. So I really want to see everything finished. So it's not, for me, it's not like selling something on Amazon, which I just bought from a Chinese factory or so. This is a hard project, and I really want to see the results. So I will also drop my email to the instructions, asking people to show me what they've done and to show me playing on the organ. So I really want to be in personal contact with my customers. Even if it's 1,000 customers, I want to stay in contact.
Yes, Wolfram, can I ask you what's next for you? For example, let's say that this project is successful. Would you consider expanding this paper organ into a full-size instrument?
Oh, well, so far I don't have plans, but I know myself enough to know that if this is successful, just the next idea is waiting. So in fact, I have an idea. It's just a rough idea, not very developed so far. But I have an idea for the next instrument made from paper, which is kind of related to this paper organ, but a bit different. And so if this is successful, I will be motivated to just make the next. But of course, since this is a modular paper organ, I might be able to expand this with 1 octave or even 2 octaves, just making bigger pipes and even smaller ones. But I will start experimenting after my campaign, because now I'm very busy keeping the momentum of the campaign. And so my head is full of paper organ and nothing else so far.
Excellent. So let's go. People will visit your website and your Kickstarter campaign. Could you repeat the address one more time?
Yes, I can't spell the Kickstarter link because it's a very long link. But
Yes.
Probably if you go to Kickstarter.com and write paper organ or my name, Wolfram Kampffmeyer, you immediately get to the project. But
Yes.
my website is www.paper-organ.com.
Wonderful. This is really simple. Thank you so much, Wolfram, and good luck in your project. I cannot wait to see this organ in my house and online too. I think let's hope that many people will post videos and articles and pictures about their paper organ building process, and this online world will just explode.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your questions.
Yes, you're welcome. Let's keep in touch.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, "The sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your essays, courses, and all your help."
Robert writes, "I found the fingerings, registration ideas, and general comments to be excellent."
John writes, "I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you were teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor."
Robert writes, "It has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching."
Ron writes, "Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home, and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Ausra and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward."
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition, and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas.
And Ausra from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.